I hope you're doing so fine. I found it very difficult to create a stable USB serial OTG communication between my Android cell phone and Arduino Uno while using an application made in MIT App Inventor. It was very unstable communication, and as far as I could search over internet in the forums, comments over YouTube videos, etc., I could not find a solution that could actually work. So I have created this short tutorial to help you see that what you should do and what you should not do while creating serial communication between your Android phone and the Arduino Uno using the MIT App Inventor. And I will also make an MIT App Inventor app here, and rather through this application I will show you how we should do it. The first thing here is that this is a very simple Arduino code. As you can see here that I have declared LED pin 13 as output here in the pin mode, okay, the built-in LED, and I have declared command here as car, and in the loop the serial port has been begun at 9600 in the white setup. So in the loop, if you see that if serial dot available is greater than 0, then command is equal to serial dot read, and if command is equal to 1, digital write LED pin high, and if the command is 0, then digital write LED pin as low. So as it will communicate with the USB OTG port, the Arduino Uno, it will begin to read, and once the serial is available and the reading is equal to 1, the built-in LED at the pin 13 should be lit on, while if it reads 0, it should be lit off. Pretty simple. Now moving on to the MIT App Inventor end. The thing is that here are communication extensions. The built-in extension for serial communication is this serial one, while you may come across this serial OTG extension. See this one. People have said that even the developer of this extension for MIT App Inventor, the serial OTG extension, says that it is more stable. I found the MIT App Inventor, if executed by the steps that I'm going to tell you, it is very much stable. But this extension can give you extra steps once you reach the stage where you need advanced options. So let's come back here. I am telling you that the extension serial OTG here in the MIT App Inventor, it is good. You don't need anything else for the pretty basic serial OTG communication. So here I have created a new project, and for the part here here it is written screen 1. Okay, so here it is screen 1, and let's change it to the slim lamps. Slim lamps serial OTG. Okay, so it will just change the title here. Next, let's add a button here, and this button will be LED on, and this button LED on is for actually the blocks. It will appear as LED on here, and for the text over it I will change it to LED on like this, and add another button as LED off, and the text here as LED off. Okay, let's add another button here with the title uh, connect serial port, and the text here will be connect serial port. Okay, add another button as initialize serial port. Okay, and let's change it to initialize serial port. You can name it anything else, it is just for reference. And let's move forward. Why I have two things here, initialize serial port and connect serial port, I will show you in a while. Let's add a label here and here, and text for label be connect device, then click initialize serial port. Okay, then click initialize serial port. Okay, let's move into the blocks section. To create a stable serial communication, you need to initialize serial port, and then you need to open serial port. You need to initialize it once, but you need to open it twice, but not thrice. What I'm saying is that once the serial port is initialized, as I will show you here, open serial port with it once. Then again through some routine, open serial port again. Then you can communicate over serial port. Then you can close it. But before closing, do not open it for the third time. I don't know why it happens, but the code is here working like this in a stable way. If you initialize it, if you open serial port for the third time without first closing it, it will give an error. Pretty simple. Let me show you that once this here is screen.initialize. What I will do is that when the screen has initialized, all of the buttons except the label and the initialize serial port button should be visible. Okay, so led underscore dot visible to false. Okay, to false. We will also set led underscore off to false, and we will also set the connect serial port to false. So only label 1 and initialize serial port will be visible. So next, when anyone taps on initial serial port, what should it do? It should initialize. We forgot to add the serial extension. Let's just simply add it here, connectivity and serial. Okay, it will not be visible here in the there, but it is in the hidden non-visible components, and the baud rate is 9600 by default. We set the same baud rate here, so not a let it go here. We go to blocks, and when initialize serial port dot click serial dot call serial, here it will be initialized. Next, we need to open serial port. For that purpose, evaluate but ignore result, and call open serial. So it has been done once. And then what we need to do is we need to set visibility of the initialize serial button to false, and we need to make the connect serial port button visible so that it may again once initialize the serial port, open the serial port, not initialize. Initialization has been done once. So if serial is initialized, then set set initialized serial port button visibility to false, set label 1 dot visibility to false. Okay, because it was asking to connect the device here to false. I'm just duplicating it from here, and then set the connect serial port visible to true. I hope you are having an idea why I want this to be visible, because when again this button will be tapped, that is the connect serial port dot dot click. Okay, then what should it do? It should open serial port again the second time, and now it will be able to communicate over serial. So what should I do it? I should make a button again here, I think so, in the designer, another button to close the serial port. Okay, I hope you are having an idea. Let's rename it close serial connection, and let's just here close serial connection. Okay, close serial connection, right? So I want this to be invisible till I have connected the device. So I will close serial connection. I will also add another button here that will be named close serial. So it will also not visible when the screen loads. Okay, when the screen is initialized, everything will be invisible except the initialize button. When initialize button is tapped, it will call serial initialization, it will call opening of the serial port first time, and then if it is initialized, then it will set the label and the initialize button to false, invisible, and only the correct visible will be true. And when it will be tapped, it will call open serial second time, and then so as to avoid opening of the serial port third time, it should go to false, the invisible option, and the close serial communication should be visible, because you may close it now, and then we will see that once close it tapped, we will make connect visible, the button visible. Okay, and LED on and LED off buttons should also be visible. I hope you are having a good idea here. Here, right? So what should happen when we tap on LED on button? Pretty simple, let me show you. It should just send a serial write data, serial call serial to write data, and let's just enter here a text that should be 1. We wrote here 1 because if it is 1, the LED should turn on. Pretty simple. Right here, just 1. Okay, let's just duplicate here. When LED off dot click, set it to 0. It's pretty simple. And yes, when close serial port is tapped, Okay, let's just duplicate it here again. When close serial communication is tabbed, what should it do? Well, it should first of all close the serial communication. Okay, close serial. How? Using this evaluate but ignore result. Evaluate but ignore result, and instead of opening, it should now close serial. So when connection is closed, there is no point that LED on should be visible or LED off should be visible, because these are not longer accessible because the serial communication has been closed. Instead, the connect serial port should be visible. How simple. So this is our complete application to create a stable serial communication. The do's here are: initialize the serial port, call serial open once, then call serial open twice, but not thrice. So that's why we are eliminating any button here that can open the serial port, but we are giving here an option to close the serial port. And simple, write data using any number or string you want as per the storage type you are using. I'm using here car, and get execution from Android. So let's test this application. To do so, simply build the application using to the Android APK, and let's move it on and download it on our phone and test it. Okay, so here I have my Arduino Uno with a code that I just shared with you, and I have connected it to the OTG connector here, and my screen here is showing connect device, then click initialize drivers. Okay, so what we do is first plug in our OTG cable here. The board is on. Next, simply if we tap initialize driver, what should it do? It should initialize here. Okay, next connect is visible. Now the initialize button and the label have become invisible. When I connect it, it will open serial port again, but the connect button has now gone, so that the serial button should not be visible for the third time. And now when I click on LED on button, the built-in LED turns on. By clicking on LED off, it turns off. Pretty simple. And when I click on disconnect, it simply disconnects. But when I connect it again, it opens again, right? It closes the serial port, it opens the serial port. You have to close the serial port before it opening for the third time. If you open it for the third time or tap on it, then the connection will be unstable. I hope this makes the video clear. Please like and subscribe, and I hope that you have learned to create a stable serial communication between Arduino Uno and the Android device using the MIT's App Inventor application. Good luck.